And what's up, everybody? This is None Defense, host of this YouTube channel and co-leader of the team Still Unboomable. Of course, I'm sitting here with our lovely real leader, Miss Boom Bitch Angie. Say hello, Angie.
What's up, everyone?
So this is the final day of hanging out with the Super Saiyans as a part of the Booming Without Borders campaign. So let's just kind of give you a recap. We first came over here and just kind of poked around, kind of got a feel for each other. Then we actually attempted a stronghold over here. We fell just a little bit short, and then we brought some of their best guys over to our team, Still Unboomable, and we did the stronghold again, and that time we did it in 32 attacks. We decided to go ahead and come back over here to Super Saiyans, knowing that this was going to be, whether we won or whether we lost, that this was going to be our last time hanging out with the Saiyans, because it's time. There are other task forces out there that, I promised them that I'd help them out, so it's time that we send our crew over there. Just excuse this Facebook chat that's happening. I'll just try to get that off screen as soon as it pops up. So let's see. Anyway. Okay, so, well, here we are. We decided to do stronghold. There is 1 hour and 7 minutes remaining on the operation. It does look like we're going to fall short. There was about 7 attacks that didn't get in, unless they cram in the last few seconds here. But we're going to go ahead and call this horse dead, I'm afraid. However, that's not all sad. There was a lot of really great promise to build off of. A lot of people, worked together, communicated with us. Myself, Angie, Nick, Bron, we were all here. The leaders of the team, Reaper, Flip, just naming names, Nuka, just throwing names out there, Die Hard. There was a lot of participation, a lot of things to be excited about if you're a Super Saiyan and you're sticking with this team. Okie dokie. So we'll just go ahead and I'm going to go through the highlights, and there were some mistakes and some missteps, but it's not the time for that, I don't believe. Let's just talk about the things that went really, really well. We're going to start with Adelia. I don't know how to pronounce this. Now, I wanted to see you go Zukas in this situation. However, you were not confident that you could eliminate this rocket with Zukas, but you were confident you could do it with Warriors, so we elected to let you go Warriors and stick within your comfort zone, because ultimately we needed that rocket gone. So then that's what you went in, you did. Nothing too fancy, kept the mortar shot, got rid of that. The reason I wanted to go Zukas here is because after you took out the rocket, you could then flare back here and start working these boom cannons. But whatever, you started working some mines a little bit. It was beautiful. Good job. Wasn't amazing, wasn't super sexy, just a good quality attack. Now Raul went in with Hookah. Okay, so there was some discussion about whether or not we should go with Hookah up here. It's kind of confusing for some members who aren't so familiar with our system when we're talking about this attack here. They think, oh, I could, go tanks and I could do so much more. It's like, oh, well, no, because you're not gonna, because what we need is this thing to start getting bombed, and that's why we call for just some low-level or mid-level hookahs in this situation. Start softening up the front, and Raul was willing to run it. Thank you, Raul. Hillbilly went right after him. Same plan. Just going to go ahead and jump in, knock out, work on finishing clearing this stuff up, throwing all your extra gunboat here at this shocker. This is a very unselfish attack, and it may not look like you're doing anything super impressive, but these are the attacks that set up the good attack. So great job, HB. Okie dokie, and so that was HB on Commodore. Bort attacked Commodore. Bort did go with all Scorchers today. It was at our request. We had a specific request of him to try to eliminate this row. Let's see how he did. And of course, throw some bombs at this. This team was a little confused at first. Just our insistence on team artillery is like, take a moment, send some bombs at the correct target. It works. It's worth it. This was a very good attack. Scorchers are a great troop, especially the high-level troops, but they're also, they have such ADHD, you just cannot count on them to stick to any one thing, but they will just wander around and just burn everything. Okie dokie, that was that. So we're sticking to Commodore. I love the name, Penetrating Paul. So we were like, okay, so just kind of see what you can do about here. I would have been happy if he could have taken care of all of that, you know, just right up to here. What he ended up doing was going way above, and he ended up taking out like a lot of this stuff. So great job, Paul. We're gonna watch it in super fast time, but we're gonna just watch the smoky, fiery action do its thing. Throwing some bombs around, letting the scorchers just go around and just do their ugly work. You know, a lot of stuff's getting weak. He's still throwing bombs around, working on this laser, working on this rocket, working on this shocker. Like, that's beautiful. You know, and again, I usually don't give the high strength attacks much credit, but there was a lot of skill in this high strength attack. You know what I mean? He didn't just hit attack and go, like he was actually actively working the plan. Beautifully done. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Wow, 25, that chat is lighting up over there. I don't know what I'm missing, but I'm just going to stick to the video.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, of course. Talking about Dragon Ball Z. Alright, so this was Matt Dragon, driven by Mr. Bronsoon. Just getting the Zookas out of there, getting them linked up on this wall. Gonna throw some barrage, start working on these mines. Love the smoke, shot. Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, and it's just, this is Commodore. We've done this, we've seen this. We've seen it in videos now a few times. You know, that Supercell always wants to throw just a little bit of, a little bit of curveball every time it gives us Commodore. You know, all the bases really, but they're all fun. They all have a unique thing about them. So then the question was, do we want to put a two or three more lows on it to finish it off, or do we want to just go ahead and make that thing dead? We elected for dead, so we sent in Miss Dead herself, Miss Boom Bitch Angie. When it's time to close, you send in the boss. That's how that works. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Great job, Angie. Then just a little reflare on the edge there. She made sure that machine gun was gone on the first wave, so that way even if she did die, that machine gun is gone for the next guy. So it worked out. Beautiful. She got the win. She's such a good boomer. Okie dokie. So that was Angie on Commodore. We skipped bases there. So I showed you Adelia's attack on Centaur, so I'll run through there. Slamo had a very good attack, going with the Ruka approach. If I have to be critical, you didn't exactly follow notes because we were calling for all Zuka, but you understood the objective here. The objective was to start opening this stuff up. So you followed it, and I loved how you followed the notes on Team Artillery on this shocker back here. So good job, Slamo. I believe I even told you in chat. I was very pleased. Very pleased. Great job. Okay, we're just trying to kind of zip right on through here. So that was Centaur, 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 Centaur. Maximus Prime. Maximus Prime, last time I got you on video doing an operation, it was terrible. This time I got you on video doing an operation and it was just as terrible. Well, okay, no, it wasn't as terrible as the last time, but your levels of terrible, well, it's kind of terrible, Prime. Yeah, I'm not going to be overly critical, but everybody else watched the video and improved. I don't know what happened to you there, Prime. Alright, so that was Centaur. None defense went after him. Whoever that guy is, I guarantee he's just a big jerk. Can't be trusted. Got a flare over here. Gonna smoke. Smoke. Boom, boom, boom. I wish that I had done a little better on this and finished off this last boom cannon. Because that last boom cannon, well, you'll see. You'll see. It's gonna come, not on this attack, but this thing was on the next attack. It's just kind of silly. Alrighty, so that was Centaur. Oh, Passant. There he is. Passant. And the award for the biggest, just pointless fail of the entire day. The note said we were thinking about, grenadiers, and it was just a discussion in the notes. And he was like, oh, well, I have, 4 boats of grenadiers mixed in with my hookah, so I'll just go with just the 4 boats of the grenadiers, and I'll drop them in an area that's nobody's even planning on going. So everything about this was an absolute waste. I'm not even going to waste anybody's time by showing it. Good job, Passant. Notice how I said good job after I berated him for wasting everybody's time? Good job, Passant. Okay, so with the thing, back to the discussion we were having about grenadiers. If Passant did anything productive, he did, weaken that enough so Unbeatable could finish that up. This was my call to send grenades over here. I thought maybe we could tuck them over here and they'd kind of start working this out. It just didn't work out. And that's going to happen. Angie hates grenadiers, and every time it goes wrong she has a good reason to hate grenadiers, but every time it goes right she doesn't have a good reason to hate grenadiers. So it's kind of just one of those things. It's either going to work beautifully, or it's not, and that's grenades for you. I was counting on the beautiful. What I got was the not. So and that's grenades. Even though you outrange all of this stuff, there's always going to be that one grenade that just has to step in range of the cannons. Just has to. Can't help himself. So that was Centaur. Emperor went in Ruka. I mean, it's a good strategy. He was clearly overreaching, but I admire the fact that he was trying to be brave. Didn't understand the smoke there. Assumed it was a mistake, but clearly this whole thing just got away from you when it was all said and done. So I mean, you got a little bit of damage, so good job there, Emperor. So that was Centaur. Die-Hard jumped in with his high scorchers. We figured now that this whole area has been kind of worked, maybe we could start continuing to clean up this corner up here, start making a path back there. Now again, spoiler alert, we lost the op. Like, unless 7 people jump in and have miracle attacks in the last hour, which on Still Unboomable we have seen happen, so I'm not going to count the Super Saiyans out, because that has happened. Where we have really worried that we were going to lose the op and time out, and then all of a sudden our guys jump on and are like, hey, I'm here, and they win. So it's like, yay, thank you for that. But I don't think that's happening this time. Angie, do you think that's happening this time?
What?
That anybody's going to jump in and save the day on this op?
Yeah, negative.
Okay, 55 minutes just in case. So let's prove her wrong. She says it's just not going to happen. Well, I don't think it's going to happen either, but still rooting. Was that the last? Alright, Kaido on Centaur. He went in Scorcher tanks. 1 boat of tanks, as I recall. He says it wasn't quite enough tanks. I don't know. Kind of can't help but think it was too much tank. Like maybe all Scorchers really was just a better way to go. I don't know. We're not too into Scorchers over on our team, Still Unboomable, so I don't have too much perspective on them, other than just when they're really powerful, and when they're not really powerful, they're kind of a waste. I feel like Kaido's might have been in the not super powerful category. I mean, they were max. I don't know, just something about this attack didn't go right. He says he didn't have enough tanks, and if that's the answer, that's the answer. I don't know. I just don't know. But I promise, as soon as I feel like I have an actual answer, well, yeah, they were max, so I mean, he's really tough. But yeah, as soon as I feel like I have an actual answer, I will certainly address the question. But I just don't know enough about it. And only a fool pretends he knows something about something that he doesn't really know about. And I am no fool. Certainly not the smartest guy ever, but definitely not a fool. Okay, the things that I know about greatly. The things that I don't know about, I'll never pretend. I'll ask. I'll learn. If you know about it, I'll talk to you about it. I'd love to hear about it. So that was that. Just didn't quite work out. That was Boo. He only had level 1 Scorchers, just not enough. That was just not enough Scorcher. Not even close. A level 1 Scorcher really is kind of a weak Scorcher, guys. I hate to tell you. Now we're getting into, as I'm showing in these late attacks, these are the time people were... Well, honestly, it just fell apart. Like, this is just where, where we had the operation in our hands, and I don't want to go too negative, but this thing was beaten. Like, it was just a matter of just sticking to the plan, sticking to the basics, work together, but just silly things happened, Just silly things. People weren't chatting there at the end, like, all day long. Listen, and again, just to be honest, when I came over here to do this operation... See, it was about 11 o'clock-ish last night, more or less, and we brought all the accounts that were going to come over. The agreed time was to start at 5 a.m., start the op at 5 a.m., so that would have been this morning, but we decided since we were all available, me, Bron, Angie, and Nick, let's go ahead and start the operation, kind of get the brain work out of the way. So we started the operation roughly midnight, 1 a.m. Well, it's in 24 hours, so what time is it now here? Right now it's 10:41. So yeah, about 11:30. And then I slept for a couple of hours after we did the brain work. Set the alarm for 5 a.m. And then I've been sitting here staring at this chat. Oh, I've been doing other things, hanging out with Jim, hanging out with my lady. We watched Superman Part 3. Notice how I'm not really talking about the op anymore, just because, like, why? No, it was cool. The guys who got in the act early, I don't know, call it the first 30 attacks, 35 attacks. Oh, man, like, it was a pleasure. It was a privilege to hang out with you guys and be a part of this and, do my little 2 cents. And Nick was super involved, like heavily involved in the brain work. Angie was doing some coaching. Bron, well, he's just Bron. But he certainly did his part. He did everything that was asked of him. Absolutely, he did. And then we got into like the last 15 attacks, and then the whole thing just kind of went south. But I don't know. At the end of the day, if I have to be super critical, I just got to say, guys, we got to get the communication worked out. The simple little thing of just jumping on chat, instead of just logging in and quietly hitting the attack button, just look at go to the chat, log in, hey, I'm online, what can I do? Like, where do you want me? And if you disagree with what they're telling you, I can live with that, but don't argue about it. Just state your case. But I assure you, there's a good reason why they're, thinking of that. I don't know. So I would have to give everybody just the fact that, nothing in the world, no amount of planning in the world, no amount of strategy, no amount of communication, teamwork, or anything will overcome the fact that the people who we need to attack won't attack. And that's just stinky. I'm not sure what else to say about it. Let's see. I guess I missed a few attacks. I've been sitting here just loading a ball while we're chatting. Now I'm just going to kind of show some highlights. Matt Dragon, did we already do Commodore? Well, we did Commodore. We did Centaur, Diehard. We looked at his attack. UD. Ooh, let's look at Nick's attack. Okay. So, Nick Hill went on Mercury. Where this was Nick 2. This was his small account, which isn't really that small anymore. It was small when he first brought it to us, but he's worked it really, really hard. So you'll notice that he's going Warriors over here. Just going to go ahead and eliminate those rockets right away. Beautiful, beautiful. Well done, Mr. Nick. So after the rockets go down, there's really not too much more he can do. The next step in the plan, I believe, was to send Mr. UD, that is Nick's real-life brother, and his job was ultimately to set Nick up for the big win. So let's find that. Make sure we get that in on the video. Okie dokie. So he's doing his little fancy Zuka drops. Gonna flare over here, smoke. Gonna take out this, just boom, boom, boom. Excellent work. Gonna flare here. He's gonna take that out next. Excellent. Well, hi, buddy. That's Buddy, everybody. I don't think he's ever chatted on the video before, but now he has. What else do you have to say about it, buddy? Yeah? Well, buddy, what do you think about communication and teamwork? Well, he's done talking, apparently. Now he's just staring out his window. But that's okay. So that's Buddy. No one can say he's never been on one of the videos. So good job, UD. That was a beautiful Zuka attack. Did a lot of damage. Really opened things up. And that set up Nick, our guy. You know, it used to be me that was like head of tactics, head of planning. And I certainly still have my role. And I'm certainly still get my vote and all that. But I have zero problem with deferring to Nick when it comes to when it comes to the planning these little operations. He sees things. He has a very unique vision when it comes to this kind of stuff. And you just got to trust your guys, man. Trust your guys to do what they're good at. So when Nick, whether we're recruiting or whether we're just doing these team ops, these co-ops, booming without borders, whatever it is, when Nick's involved, I don't care who you are. If Nick says, hey, do this, I've yet to see him be wrong. I've seen him make plenty of mistakes, and he'll tell you that as well, but I've yet to see him be wrong. So, trust me, it's going to happen, and I'm going to call him out on it in front of everybody, and he's just going to have to deal with it, but he's good. He really knows what he's doing. All right, let's take a few looks at the circuit board and wrap this video up. Nuke, I believe you were the first person to do circuit board. This was a win, so we're going to look at the whole thing. Throwing some team artillery at that rocket there. Throwing the critters there to work on these mines. And you're just going to set yourself up here and just start, fighting as much as you can right here. It was great. It was absolutely great. It was teamwork. You did what was asked. It was discussed. You paid attention to what was going on. Beautifully done. Okay, so that was circuit board, Aziz. This is going to be the last base once we show the win on circuit board. Okie dokie, and if you're watching this video and I skipped one of your replays, it's okay. You know what happened. You were there. You saw it. Okay. Not a great attack, Aziz. I think we discussed it, something in chat, like it kind of got away from you. But, whatever. Good bombing. Good bombing. Yo-yo. I don't remember what Yo-yo did. Let's have a look. Alright, let's see some bombs. Okay, did he take that out? So he's kind of spreading around. Took that one out. Took them both out. Good job. And then there's that shock blaster. Now, as we were going through, everybody's really concerned about these shock blasters. Guys, I promise, I'm scared of shock blasters too. I really am. But at the same time, it's one thing, so you kind of have to. Everybody was thinking, oh, I should be sending artillery after the shock blaster instead of the rockets. And well, the rockets were causing the issue right now. We needed to deal with the issue now. The shock blaster is its own issue, and we'll deal with that as we need to. And now that the rockets were dealt with, we were, able to start working on that shock blaster. Reaper went in. He put a whole bunch of juice on it. And one of the last videos where we did this base, it was discussion about whether it's a good tactic to throw critters back there. If this rocket's gone, I have decided, the numbers show, I do believe that It is a good tactic. I kind of said that it wasn't a great tactic, and it's not that I said it was a bad tactic. It was just saying that how it was being utilized was kind of a waste because we weren't properly artillerying the rockets. Well, the rockets are gone, so yeah, now's a great time to throw those critters back there. Absolutely. Okay, so that was that. Sander Bob. Sander Bob's my guy. Like, I feel like as long as Sander Bob is, involved in any team I'm affiliated with, we've got an honest chance. So I asked him specifically to run all Zuka over here. It's just about bombing. All he's doing is just bombing this. If he gets an extra, force point or whatever, that's great. But I just needed him to bomb, and that's what he did. Just a good little old-fashioned team artillery, sir. Mr. Paul went in. He jumped in on the team artillery action. He's going to go ahead and not finish that shock blaster, but certainly put a hurt on it. And did he throw critters back here? Somebody did. Yes, he did. Good job. He lost his scorchers quickly there. But he's got the critters on the shield generators, and there's no rocket fire on them, so it's a great strategy in this situation. Absolutely. And so that's about to pop, then they're going to die there, and then that's the end of that. Next attack, I believe, was Dipstick. That's correct. So Dipstick, if he had just, I don't know what, 1, 2, 3 more bombs, whatever it was, just a little bit more, he could have won this thing, but he just didn't have enough, and that's okay. But he made it weak. He weakened it up enough that Silence, myself, was able to go ahead and get a cheap, easy victory and take a lot of credit, even though little of it was deserved. Beautiful. Great job, Dipstick. Like, yeah, I know you didn't win there, but you did everything you could. You worked with it. You worked with what you had available. Okay, and this is the last attack that we're going to show in this video. So that was Silence, just dropping over here, nothing fancy. Going to do the flare, let them walk up. Going to keep this area shocked. And there you go. Nothing super sexy. Just keeping them shocked, letting them work. Thank you, girls. So there you go. That was Stronghold, everybody. And you notice while we've been attacking, or while we've been showing these attacks, the same 7 people who didn't attack at the beginning haven't attacked now, which leads me to believe 41 minutes from now, they're still not going to have to attack. So if you ask me tomorrow, hey, did you beat Stronghold over with the Super Saiyans? I'm probably going to say, no, sorry. Sorry, we did not. But there was tons of improvement, tons of increased communication, tons of working together, lots of positive things to build on. So with my final thought, knowing that this is most likely going to be the last time, at least in the foreseeable future, the last time partying with the Super Saiyans, I want to say, guys, you know what you want to be. You've seen what it is that you need to do to be that, and you also understand that you have options, and you have other people who are more than happy to help you work within those options. So I'm going to just let that be that. As always, friends, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you are a super high level player and you are looking for the bash and smash style of task operations that the Super Saiyans partake in, you're going to want to check out the team #9C89JUR. As always, we are still unboomable, and please, friends, be safe.